Hello everybody, welcome. Bill Shaka here. Welcome to another edition of the 5-Minute Motivator. Welcome to my home in Tamarindo, Costa Rica. It is an absolute pleasure to be here with you today. I'm sure I'm going to get a gigantic bump in traffic based upon the title of this particular 5-Minute Motivator, Free Tropical Vacation, or Free Island Vacation. And that's good. I'm glad, because I do want people to begin to think about this. Now, in my face-to-face sessions quite a bit, before I introduce this topic, I ask all the time, how many of you like a vacation? And if there's 100 people in the room, I generally get 100 hands going up. Very rarely, if ever, do I not get a hand going up. If I don't get a hand going up, it's probably because they were daydreaming and didn't hear my question. But then I'll ask a question, how many of you would like a tropical vacation, an island vacation? And generally out of 100 people, 97 of them will raise their hands. You always have a couple dissenters saying, I want to go skiing, or I rather the mountains, or I want to go to Chicago, or something to that effect. And that's fine, whatever you're happy with. But in general, the tropics have kind of an allure. I guess it has to do with the palm trees and the like that people enjoy. So vacations are normally considered good. Tropical vacations are normally considered really great. And what I'm offering you here is a free tropical vacation, a free island vacation. I'm assuming it's tropical, but that choice is up to you. Okay, now just hang on to that vacation notion for just a second, and let me get into goal setting. One of the great tenets of goal setting is that goals need to have a deadline. If you look at SMART criteria, S-M-A-R-T, the T is normally time specific. That is that goals have to have a deadline. And there's a reason for that. A goal without a deadline gives you the ability to reboot anytime you'd like. Give you an example. Let's say you decide to lose 10 pounds. So you set a goal to lose 10 pounds. And you watch what you eat, you go to the gym, you do all the other stuff. But you don't have a deadline set on the goal. 2 weeks later, you go to a party, and there's these little mini cannolis. And you just love these little mini cannolis. So you say, I've been a good person for 2 weeks. Let me have a cannoli. And you have one cannoli. And then you have a second. Then you have a third. And by the end of the night, if you had as many mini cannolis sticking out of you as you had stuck in you, you'd look like a sea urchin. But so the end result is that you broke your diet. But again, there's no deadline on it. So you reboot. The next day, you start over again. You see, that's the value of a deadline, because ultimately with the deadline, saying I want to lose 10 pounds in 6 weeks, you're 2 weeks into the diet, you look at the cannolis, you realize you have a month to go. What's more important, the 10 pounds or the cannolis? And it gives you a little bit more of a psychological incentive, an edge to continue with the diet. That's why deadlines are so important with goal setting. As a matter of fact, I'll go a little bit further and I'll say this. If you set a goal and you don't set a deadline on it, what you have done is rationalized procrastination. That's what you're doing. You are rationalizing procrastination. If you set a goal without a deadline, you make yourself feel good. Oh, I set this goal. Isn't that wonderful? But if you don't put a deadline on it, you're going to be able to procrastinate in terms of that goal, onward and onward and onward, and you're never going to hit that goal. Or if you do hit it, it's going to be by virtue of luck, simply because there's always the ability to start over again. And that's what you want to avoid. You want to avoid that notion of starting over again. So, you need to put a goal or a deadline on the goal. So where does this thing come in now in terms of a vacation? Set a goal without a deadline, and you can go to Someday Isle. Oh, I'm sure there's a vast majority of you kind of pissed off at me right now, thinking that you just invested 4 minutes in a free island vacation. And basically what I did is I told you that if you set a goal without a deadline, you can go to Someday Isle. But that's okay. I'm hoping that I evoke some level of emotion. If it's not anger, hopefully it's humor or joy, or you at least begin to understand this process, that goal setting and deadlines are intimately connected. They're joined at the hip. So anyway, the whole moral to this story is very, very simple. If you set a goal, put a deadline on it. Don't worry about fear of failure. Don't think of fear of success. Set a goal, put a deadline on it, and you will not go to Someday Isle unless you set a goal to do so. This is Bill Shaka thanking you for attending yet another edition of the 5 Minute Motivator, and I will see you again on the other side. See ya.